Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Skep Live Online, a production of University of Hawaii Presents, based at the University of Hawaii at Manoa Outreach College. I'd like to thank our sponsors, the Hawaii State Foundation on Culture and the Arts, the National Endowment for the Arts, the University of Hawaii, and Kainoa Senior Services. We're excited to have you join us this week and would love to stay in touch. So give us comments and questions through today's chat window and let us know what you're thinking. Also, if you send your email to us at csinfo@hawaii.edu, you'll get notices about upcoming programs. Well, we're into the final day of this week with one of Hawaii's leading storytellers, Jeff Gere. He's celebrated for his physical style of storytelling, and he was the drama specialist for Oahu's Department of Parks and Rec for 28 years. He produced the Talk Story Festival, Talk Story Radio, Story TV, and he performs regularly across Hawaii and internationally. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. Here's Jeff Gere.
I go to all of his shows. I'm going to take off these head pods. I'm going to push the little button so that I have a full screen in front of me, and then I'm going to be fully involved with you. Aloha, thank you for coming. I am delighted to share with you 3 stories gathered in American Samoa. Tutuila is the name of the island, and I went there in 1992, 30 years ago, with my friend MakiaMalo. Leprosy, Hansen's disease, Makapo, wears sunglasses because his eyes are all messed up. Fingers are stumpy. The disease has ravaged him and left him a fully engaged, humorous, lively, loving life, huge man of Hawaiian ancestry. I love Makia. We went to a lot of places, and this was one of our first adventures. He could tell me how much change in my pocket was his. Now, Tutuila lies in the middle of the Pacific, South Pacific. I would call it a serpent with these spiny mountains going up and swirling around and about. There's a little ribbon of a road, one big town called Pongo Pongo. That lays on the inside of a massive bay. There's one industry, canning fish, and one hotel, which since has burned down, the Rainmaker. And we stayed in the Rainmaker. Did I tell you it's hot there? There's no trade winds. I asked a guy, you have a tourist economy here? Who come here? It's too hot. And it was. You'd lay in bed in the Rainmaker and I could feel the sweat rolling off my cheeks, forming, sweating. The bed was wet every morning just from lying there. It's hot. And if you haven't deduced it by now, I jump around a lot when I perform. So we were going to all these remote islands. Some of the schools that we visited didn't have flooring. They were just dirt. But the children were brown and their teeth were white and they were smiling at us. We had a ball. And we sweated the whole time. After our shows, we'd be driven by a lady named Law Stevens, who was just a hoot. And she'd drive us to these schools and bring us back to the Art Center, our patron, our sponsor. We'd sit by the air conditioner and guzzle, chug water. Makia has leprosy, as I told you, and it's important that he cool down or he can literally cook in his own juices because he doesn't expire as do the rest of us. So we'd sit by this air conditioner. Now, on this particular afternoon, we wandered outside to the fale. Call it a hale, a house. It's a roof with posts that hold up the roof. You don't want any walls to keep any breeze that might just happen by your location from coming and caressing your skin. As I say, there's no trade winds. It's hot. And there we met Sven Ortquist from Western Samoa. He came over as an intern, as a resident artist to carve. He was a wood carver. And he would hear the stories from all the seniors. There's no senior center. So all the seniors would come down to sit in the fale and they'd talk story. He'd listen and carve these beautiful images and put them up on the posts all around the fale. How did he attract those seniors? Every morning, Sven would come to his fale and take a 5-gallon plastic bucket, you know the kind, and he put into it kava. We know it as kava. It's a root, and you mash it up into a pulp, and then you just mix it with the water, and it makes this kind of gooey, sandy kind of drink. And as you drink it, you get numb. Drink more numb. It's famous throughout Polynesia. It's actually the passing out of ava or kava is one of the social norms. You sit in the circle and who gets served first and second determines the social order. Okay, so the old seniors would come down, they'd take a coconut nuts and dip them in as cups and drink them, and they'd throw a little over their shoulder for the gods. Behind that bench, it was really wet because they'd been sucking down ava, kava all afternoon. And you'd go up and you go, Talofa, how you doing? Talofa. Slow. So this is all important because I heard 3 stories I'm going to share with you about the Taliasi. And the first one comes from Sven. Also, you guys are storytellers from Hawaii. You like to tell a story? We've been talking all day. We're a little burnt out. Oh, that's okay. I tell you a story. You know, we got here the Taliasi. You got Pele. Yeah, the goddess of the volcano. Yeah, she comes down here to Samoa to visit the Taliasi. Who's the Taliasi? The spirit people. She does? Yeah, we know when she comes too because things get heavy. Heavy? People die. He tells me that the Taliasi are very well known and everybody steers way clear of them. On Sundays, people go to church for 4 hours in the morning, go home, eat, sleep, and then in the evening they go back to church. Church is a fundamental part of Samoan life. Well, on Sunday mornings, the Taliasi, these ladies, spirit ladies, are drinking beers, crashing the cans, and throwing them at the passing cars. Nobody complains because they ain't people. And everybody knows who they are. Well, story goes like this. The art center is visited by a Palangi, a new guy, a tourist, a white guy. He comes around the art center. There are the old guys right there on the bench. Hi, you guys. Let me sit down with you. He sits down and goes, wow, takes off his backpack. Hanging out with the native people. Talks. Then around the corner of the art center come 3 of the Taliasi. 2 old ladies and 1 young one. The young one's walking by. She stops. Sees the Palangi. Walks over to the bench. Scoot over. Sits down. Hi. She starts to rub the insole where his foot joins his ankle and the leg. She's rubbing that part of his foot with her foot. Whoa, that feels good. She takes her hand and starts playing with the nape of the neck where the hair starts to grow out. Whoa. Pretty soon, arms are entwining. Then soon it was lip gloss. The 2 are smashed together. You know how it is. Sword swallowing. Lips are going in. Tongues are twisting. They're trying to eat each other's face. Oh, this is the part the kids really love in the playgrounds. He stands up. Whoa. would you like to go see my room at the Rainmaker Hotel? Oh, yeah. Oh, they're just going at it heavy. Their hands are entwined. They're rubbing each other. They're moving. They're walking, but they're really writhing around each other as they get to the corner of the art center and disappear around the corner. Ho, ho, ho. Does he know? I don't think he knows it. Does he know who she is? Didn't have to wait that long. 1 minute later, around the corner of the art center, here comes the Palongi. Terror in his eyes. He dives for that backpack, pulls up a respirator. You know, people with asthma. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! The old guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, calm down. The guy calms down. They tell the story. He tells the story. There they are, all entwined, rubbing each other. They come around the art center and they come to this corner. Now, remember, I was with MakiaMalo, leprosy, Hansen's disease, blind, balance not so good. So the joke was, Jeff is the guide dog. Now, I remember this curb. I think it was built so high because sometimes the torrents of rainfall have this big river and they need to direct it into the drain. It was a big curb. I remember it clearly because I'd take Makia there and go, Makia, it's a big curb. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, hold on to my shoulder. Yeah, it's bigger. Don't worry about it. It's a whole step down your knee. What do you mean? Yeah, it's a big, just come on, let's go. And we'd step over the curb. Whoa, that was a big step. I told you. I remember that step. They get to the art center, the corner, the two of them. He steps off. And as he steps off, he looks, his arm is still up on her shoulder. He looks to his side. And there are 2 feet floating next to his chest. He looks up to where his hand is still on her shoulder. And there's the face of the beautiful Taliesin spirit woman. Oh God, oh God, oh my God, oh my God. And that's the first story I have of the Taliesin in American Samoa for you. Now, number 2. I told you, La Stevens was my our chaperone. She'd drive the car to and from every gig we did, every corner of the island, and we went to them all. She was really a hoot. She wrote me a letter of recommendation when I got back. It started with, that Jeff, he's one kick in the ass. What high praise. It was on my bio for years. La Stevens. I can't approximate her Samoan pidgin English. I've tried. I gave up. Anyway, I'll give you something. So the next morning, we were going from Pongo Pongo back over the mountain, a steep, steep hill. And as we're driving up, I go, La, you won't believe it. Oh, Sven told us the most amazing story yesterday about the Taliesin. Taliesin. Oh, everybody know about them. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's for real, you know. She starts to tell me about this boy. Once upon a time, there was a boy who had a bow. And he liked to shoot arrows at birds. A lot of times he missed, but every now and then he would hit the bird. The bird would fall. The boy would run up to it, take a rock, and smash its head. Some of you think that's cruel. Some of you think that's cool. Doesn't matter. That's the way the story goes. And one day, the boy shot an arrow, hit a bird. bird fell down. But on that day, the boy had very bad luck. Because in the bushes was one of those Tallahassee spirit women, one of the old ones. And she watched and saw what he did. She came walking up across from around the mountains, from the jungle passes. She came up to the boy. She said, "Hey, boy, I saw what you did to the bird. Don't kill the birds. The bird's been here longer than you. You respect the life of the birds. That's the way to do it. The birds don't speak. I speak for the birds. Knock it off." Now, good listeners, I know that you have the good sense that you would probably say, "Sorry, Tutu," or "Forgive me, Grandma." This boy made a bad mistake. Because instead of saying, "I'm sorry," he called her a name. He swore in her face. Don't ask me what it was, but it was bad. And then he took his arrows and bows. Oh, and he started to run away. And when he ran away, they say that the spirit lady went, boy ran home. His mother put him to bed in the morning, got him up. He got on clothes. She fed him a breakfast, fed him a lunch. Lunch in a bag, go catch the bus. Well, he missed the bus. Sometimes it happens. So he had to walk the 2 miles to go from Pongo, the little island, the little community, the village he was in, along the ribbon of a road to get into Pongo Pongo. Now, Pongo Pongo has a few main features. One is a big government square with banyan trees. There's also a commercial area, some housing, a shopping center, and then you come to school, Pongo Pongo Elementary. The teachers there are taught that they take roll in the morning. It's common in schools. The ones that are late, the note goes to the office. In the office, as the kids come in late to report, the principal life. Where are you? Sorry. You should turn off your phones when you're going to do a show. Forget it. Dominique, I'm trying to do a show. I can't do this now. Where were we? You know, one thing about Zoom is life intervenes. And it's good to stay in touch with all the friends that you have. Just not while you're doing the show. Unplug the phone and put it in the other room. He missed the bus. So he had to walk through the 2-mile ribbon road to get to Pongo Pongo. Government buildings in a square with banyan trees, commerce, shopping center, houses, school. Teachers take roll, note to principal. Principal, as the kids come in, he takes a big paddle. And as the kids come in, he says, "Bend over." No be late from school. Some of you think that's cool. Some of you think that's cruel. Doesn't matter. That's the way they do it in American Samoa. So kids are coming to school late. They get swatted. One name left. Where's that boy? First recess. Lunch. The boy no show up. Where's that boy? He calls the cops. Cops come. Go find the boy. He no can play hooky from school. Tell him he's in trouble. Go find him. The cops go driving through the residencies, through the shopping center, through the shops of commerce around the government square, down the long drive, the ribbon of road to get to the village. Drive around the village. No boy. They come back to the government square, commercial, back to, "Hey, we can't find a boy. We don't know where he is. He's just gone. Where's that boy?" All the kids are pouring out of school. Yeah. The principal, "Hey, you see that boy? You tell a boy he in trouble. No can cut school. You tell him, I'm going to watch for him. No can cut school tomorrow. When he comes to school, 2 swats. That's serious. You tell him. All the kids, okay. They play in the afternoon until the sun starts to set. The kids start to go home. When the kids go home, the mothers greet them. The boy doesn't come home and the mother is freaking out. She's weeping. Where's my boy? Where? The husband, what's wrong? What's wrong? The boy don't come home. Where's our boy? Where's our boy? I don't know. She makes him go see the Matai. The Matai are like the leaders of the community leaders. They have money, influence. They don't know where the boy is. So the husband has to come back and tell the wife, he's gone. Nobody know where he stay. All night in that village, two things, two sounds, as people wake and sleep and wake and sleep. One is the sound of the waves breaking on the reef. And the other sound is of the mother. Where's my boy? Where's my boy? In the morning, mothers wake their children, get them ready for school, give them a lunch, they catch the bus and go to school. No boy. The mother is beside herself with grief. The father stays to attend to her. The phone rings. Hello? Hey, I'm in the middle of Pongo Pongo in the government square with the banyan trees. Up in the tree, we see your boy. He's jumping around on top of the limbs of the branches on the top of the tree. We're afraid he's going to fall. We're putting mattresses under the tree to catch him. He's going to fall and break his neck. We call to the boy, but he no hear. We call to the boy, but he no hear. We think he's under a spell. I think he's under a spell. The father hears that and runs, not walks, he runs across the village and goes to visit the Matai, the man that knows about spirits, tells him everything. The two men run, not walk, they run back across the village, not to the front of the house, not to the side, but to the back, just to the wall of the house. And the man, the Matai that knows about magic, he starts speaking to the wall. Hey, what'd the boy do? I come to beg. Look, the mom and the daddy, they love the boy. The boy have a problem. The boy did something. He offend you. Tell me, what did he do? Out of the wall of the house comes the voice of the spirit woman. The boy has a smart mouth. The boy was killing the birds. Now the boy is a bird. You better watch out. Somebody might shoot him. No! You're right. The boy was killing the birds. We'll punish him for that. You're right. He has a foul mouth. We'll punish him for that. But pity the mother and the father. They love the boy. I give you my word. My word. The boy not going to kill the birds. I promise. The boy be good. Spare the boy. I'm begging for his life. Let the boy live. No more words came out of the wall of the house. But 2 miles away, the people who were watching the boy in the top of the trees in Pongo Pongo in the government square all said the same thing. That boy who was hopping around with his arms under his arms under his armpits, popping his elbows around like a bird, suddenly woke up, looked around, looked down where he was standing, grabbed at the twigs and branches he'd been hopping on just a minute before, and then slowly made his way down from the twigs to the branches, to the limbs, to the trunk, to the arms of friends who took him back to the embrace and safety of his mother and father. No more curse. He was now safe at home. So many people saw this happen that it was put together with the family story and printed in the Samoan news. We were in it, I know it, twice a week. So the end of the story from Law is, so you want to tell stories from American Samoa? You like to tell the stories that you learn here? Okay, then. You can tell that one because that's a story we tell to our children. No kill birds. Respect the life of living things, all living things. Because if you don't, maybe in the bushes, somebody be watching you. So tell him. Tell him the story. Tell him. And the story that I was told by Law Stevens about the boy, bow, and bird, I just told to you. So we did the show on the other side of the island, and now we were driving back, and Law was still had it on her head. So you want to hear more about the Taliasi? I'm like, oh yeah, give me it. She starts to go like, this happened to my family, my cousins. Now we were told on Sundays to not even like in the evening, pull over to the side of the road during the church service, listen to the singing, and it was spectacular. 3-4-part harmonies, gorgeous instrumentation. So anyway, it's serious church. You don't kiss it off. And at the end of the day, there's a bell that rings, big loudspeakers or bells and stuff to call the people to service, to the church. So this story includes her two cousins who all day have been cutting a hedge outside the family home. Two brothers. When suddenly, dong, 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 dong. Oh, hey, we got to go to church. Nah, a little bit more. Almost to the end. Come on, we got to go to church. Dong, dong. Come on, we got to stop. No, a little bit more, a little bit more. You know the feeling. Like you don't know how, but the hairs start to stand up. There's a presence. There she was. Oh, hello, Mother. Is there something you wanted from us? Take me to a phono. Now, a phono is like the bottom, the back, the very farthest tip of the island. You can't go further without turning around. She wants to be taken there. But being respectful, they say, yes, Mother, I can get the car. Brother, here. He throws the shears underneath the hedge, gets the car. Later, he'll hear that the lady didn't say anything. She stood there. But once they get in the car, there's the driving brother, there's the listening brother, and a bench seat. So the listening brother's got his arm up on the seat, and he's talking to the lady in the back seat. Oh, she's talking, blah, 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 blah. Chatting. They're driving through Pongo as the sun starts to go down. And then it gets dark, and the streetlights come out. And the 4-lane road goes to a 2-lane road, goes to almost a 2-lane road, kind of a middle road in the middle of 2 pull-offs to get the other guy around. And the street lights are gone, and you're out on the edge of nowhere, following this little ribbon of road. I told you it was a serpent. Those high cliffs come down to the little road, right on the edge of a giant lagoon with the waves far off in the distance crashing on the reef. The brother driving turns on the headlights. Now, the one that's talking in the front is the talking brother. She's chatting. They're chatting. It's having a great time. The driver takes the knuckle of his hand and boom, hits his brother in the leg. Ow! God, that hurt. Why you hit me? Hey, I didn't do nothing to you. Ow! Don't do it again. I don't like that. He's looking at his brother. His brother's kind of going, it's like, yeah, you didn't get hit. Stop it. That's no fun. I didn't do anything. Gosh, leave me alone. So what was we talking about? Talking. Again. It's his brother. You better stop. What the heck? Ow, it hurt my leg. The brother driving. Yeah, you. Back he goes to talking. Those headlights stabbing into the blackness. And finally, the brother who's talking looks at the brother who's driving. And by the lights of the console coming up into his face, he can see the streaks of lines of dew from tears. He can see his brother even more adamantly. And his fingers. He's pointing up to the rearview mirror. And the brother, looks at the rearview mirror. And the woman in back stops talking. Now, I've been on that road with Makia. It really is just cliff, road, lagoon, reef. But occasionally, and there aren't many, there's a place that's wide enough to pull out. If there's a really wide place, there's a village. And here comes one of those pullovers, and the boy knows it, driving. He pulls the car over, turns off the lights, stops the engine. It's all black. Only one sound. And then there's the sound of their weeping. The one driving. Mother, I know you've come to punish us. I know we've done something terrible. So tell me, is there anything we can do to save our lives? Yeah. Oh, boy. You just did save your life. First thing, I hear the chimes. I see you work. You do not go to church. I think I go punish you. But you seem like nice boys with good hearts, so I say I give you a chance. I say, take me to a phono. You show respect. Good. I'll let you live and see how it goes. And now it's dark. And you know who I is. And your heart is shaking. Good. The next time that bell rings, you go to church. I see everything. And if I see you work in the time of church, maybe I not be so nice next time. They hear the springs from someone moving. They hear the door open and shut. Very quickly, the engine starts, the lights come on. It's a little road, so those headlights have to back up and turn and drag. When they get to where the headlights are pointing and they're moving back in the direction they just came down, there's the cliff, there's the road, there's the lagoon, and there's no woman. The freaky Taliesin woman has just disappeared. Gone. Nothing. Those are the 3 stories that I came. I hope I have not abused your attention. And I hope that you'll remember that the world has many more things in it than we often give it credit. Talofa, friends. Go in peace. And now I do that. Oh, there's Tim. Is he back? Are you there, man? Anything from you, Tim? Hey, I hear audio.
Tim, you might be muted on the microphone itself, if there's a switch.
How about now? 1,
there
2,
you go.
3. Okay.
I hear you now, buddy.
Lovely world of technology. Don't we all love it so much?
Who could anticipate the phone ringing in the middle of the story?
And
then my wife trying to help interrupts it again. God bless Dominique, and God bless the person that called. And forgive me, folks. This is life. What do you say? It's live.
You got it. You've got it. Well, given all of that, it was an absolute fabulous week with you, and we can't thank you enough for being here with us.
Thanks, man.
What is it about storytelling that you see that's most enjoyable, and what's so important about the art form?
Well, a 3-dimensional, fully live performance art has been reduced to a 2-dimensional cube in which you must fit a 3-dimensional performance. That is not the thing I enjoy. But through that, there is the possibility of reaching from my life into the life of those who are listening into what I call the 4th dimension, which is the imagination. so that by telling a story live and also on Zoom, you can recreate through the words and movements, the images and the experience and the power of the story being unfolded before you. The storyteller's job is to be that guide, to map that emotional roller coaster out clearly, to take you there and bring you back feeling refreshed, or at least in awe or giddy. And that's the kind of thing I love about storytelling. The fourth dimensional communion that happens between two people. Wherever two or more of them are gathered in its name, there is communion.
Very good. Well, the reach, even though this particular format is challenging and difficult and not quite the same as in person, your reach, just to let you know, you reached at least all the way down to Argentina today. So,
well, which brings me to the point. I used to be able to go to a chat and read who was there and what they thought. If you're in Argentina, well, if you're wherever you are, I'd love to hear from you. That's my email address. Send me a Gmail note at jeffgere1031. And you know what? I like that. It lets me know who you are and what you're thinking. Even if you just say, would you please get your hair cut? Or would you, pull those two nose hairs out of your, and if you've enjoyed it or not, whatever, life is full. I'm looking for that fourth dimensional communion with you.
And Jeff's not kidding. He really loves it.
Yeah.
And he will get back to you. Well,
I've had so many beautiful conversations with people stimulated by this Zoom thing, and they really do get an image and they want to talk about it. And I'd love hearing that. How else do I get a feedback? Because we're on Zoom.
Yep. And that's the way life is for right now, at least. And hopefully that changes soon. But
Well, thank
for
God
now,
there's a SCEP program that wants to put different people in front of your face if you just tune in every week. Man.
Every week. And speaking of that, I just want to let people know that this isn't it today. For Jeff it is, but we do continue on. Yeah,
Wow.
Jeff was worried I was going to tell him he's coming back tomorrow morning, but no, not tomorrow morning.
No.
However, tomorrow evening, we start a new program that is sponsored by the Asia Pacific Dance Festival called APDF Moving Forward, in which we will be having conversations with former artistic directors that appeared at the Asia Pacific Dance Festival in years past. And we're starting with Margaret Grenier of Dancers of Damla Hamid and some of her dancers, and they'll be showing us, not in addition to telling us about their experience at the festival, we'll also get to preview some new work that they've done since the festival. They came in 2019, and that will be fun and exciting. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the SCEP Live Online channel. And then next week, Tuesday, June 1st at 10 a.m. during this slot, we have Sun Hui, who is doing a program using the Chinese stringed instrument, the erhu.
Wow.
So that'll be a fascinating morning. And then on June 3rd, Thursday, we jump to 6:30 p.m. with Professor Daniel Harris McCoy, who starts a month of Thursdays doing presentations about the classics. He's a classics professor at the university.
Wow.
And his first one is Socrates on the art of love. And then we're not done. Next week, Friday, we have a 7 p.m. show with jazz with Abe Lagrimas Jr. and friends. So next week is busy, full of exciting stuff. So hope to see you back. I also want to take a moment and thank all the people that make this happen: the Hawaii State Foundation of Culture and the Arts, the National Endowment for the Arts, the University of Hawaii, Kaanoa Senior Services, and you, our audiences, and wonderful artists like Jeff Gere, who are willing to explore this medium and be part of these programs and make them possible. So we want to thank all of you and thank you for your time this morning, and hope everybody has a lovely weekend, and hope to see some of you tomorrow night and next week. And with that, stay safe. Aloha.
Aloha.